It is Saturday morning here in Seattle. I'm going to do some artwork. Hold on. I am waiting to see. Where's my bits? There it is. Where's my bits? There. Cool. Okay, great. That's coming through. I just got to post real quick on Twitter and some Discords that I went live just to do the shout outs to all the peeps. But hey, while I'm doing that, if you do me a favor, do the subscribe, click the bell, like. My Twitter feed down below is in the description. You can follow along and see the stuff that I produce there. And let's see, what else are we talking about? Oh yeah, there's a link in my Discord. There's a link down there to the some of the work that I've built on DMsGuild. That will give you an idea of the kind of stuff that I produce as far as design work as well as artwork is concerned. So happy for you all to look at that. And man, it's so much easier just getting things up and running on artwork than it is for design work. But okay, great, we're already up and running. So we got our background here, and let's get in it. Here, checking the bits. Cool. All right, cool. So what are we doing? We created an adventure. Me, Andy, and Stuart Braz is editing this 8th level adventure that we created. That is basically necromancer cult steals undead artifacts to create portal to plane of horror, and your team's job is to deal with it one way or another. There's 3 acts. There's 6 different plot hooks with 6 different. So each plot hook has variables throughout the adventures, like to change who you're interacting with, what kind of leads do you get, what kind of resources do you get depending on which hook it is that you have. And you got 4 people in the party, they could all have separate hooks if you wanted, or if it's part of an ongoing campaign, you can have all those hooks. You can combine hooks into background context that makes sense for the campaign that you've been running, and how you can drop this thing into your game to either have as a base camp for enemies, to create ongoing issues for the local communities that your character has to deal with, or as a single session run and gun through their bunker facility, Doom style. There's a lot of different ways you can play it, but I'm doing some. I haven't done any art production since May for this, and I've been doing a ton of map work. So, and I did some character art and some just random alien flora being created by the plane of Mabar manifesting in these in the Carnwood. So you get this forest that's decaying, and there's this outer plane, alien plane of dread and darkness that's encroaching and poisoning the land and slowly terraforming it into its own nightmare reality, and spawning creatures that are native to that world that are now able to foray out into the forest and terrify nearby villages. That becomes that in one way or another, depending on what your plot hooks are, it becomes your issue. It becomes your task to stop the problem. So that leads you to an old underground facility, raccoons, a raccoon nest, Umbrella Corporation, Resident Evil style, and so once you get down into the facility, it's a research facility, and it's got a fun little off-techy feel to it. So right now I'm building just rough assets, trying not to take myself too seriously today. But so there's these, get the right weight. It's been a while since I've done any painting on stream. Hey guys, I'm just dealing with black and white right now. I don't see any color, but once I'm going to be seeing. A lot of times I like doing full color pictures. You've seen on my streams the artwork that I produce for my book covers and stuff like that. I don't know. I want to back off. I want to back off a heavy painter vibe. I want to go with more of a sketchy feel for this, like more line art with flavors of color in there. But I want to be able to produce the entire thing in black and white only, so that if someone wanted to print it, they wouldn't have to worry about using color ink to do so. But I also want to have color assets. for people that want to want to use this on a virtual tabletop where color is free for them to use. So I want both of those options. So I'm thinking about building out all the assets in black and white, and then having just a raw black-white model. And if I can feel like that, and if I like how that feels, then I can cycle back through and start adding color elements where they're appropriate. That's my current thought process behind that. But I only get to paint because of Muse's permission. So if my Muse decides that there's going to be color in here, and I'm changing up the process, then we're going to do what she says. That's because those are the rules. Hold on real quick. Oh, no, I'm out of coffee. Oh well, I probably don't need any more. It's getting late in the morning here in Seattle, and I probably don't need to have any more. So what are we going to do? So this bunker facility that we're going into. Hold on real quick. I'll show you. Our playtesting is done, so I can reveal all secrets. And we're gonna go over the whole damn thing eventually. So, because once it comes back from editing, then it gets handed to me for layouts, and we'll be building layouts here on stream, laying all the text into all the pages, doing the dressing, making it all do what it's supposed to do. But this is the bottom. This is the final bunker. It's a very rough interpretation of it, but it was good enough for playtesting. There's multiple points of entry. There's this elevator shaft here that has it's a large disc, but it's misaligned, so it can't go up and down anymore. But it can be used to just go down, rappel or jump, fly, climb, whatever your character can do. There's also the stairway that comes down. This stairway wraps around like this to the surface, and it comes out here 100 feet up. At the top side entrance, which is a guarded port area that if you can get through the troops, either sneaking past them, killing your way through, or intimidating them out of your way, or forming an alliance with them, perhaps, depending on how you want to make your campaign roll. You can just come down the stairs into this front room. There's also this wall here. That's not actually a wall. This is a bunker door here. That's a bunker door. That's a bunker door. That are bunker doors that are open. That door is closed. That bunker door is closed and getting grown over with crystals and alien fauna that we've painted here on previous streams. So it's barely serviceable at this point. This door, it remains closed. This door remains closed. This door's open. This door's open. This door's open. Closed. This door should be closed, but in this current example, it's depicted as open, closed, open. There's so much terraforming around this door that it can't close at all anymore. It remains permanently open. There's this fog that emanates from the Nexus. This is the Nexus. This is where the ritual is happening. That's creating the manifest zone of Mabar, and the environment is creating this thickening smoke that promotes the growth of all the alien vegetation that's encountered inside the manifest zone, and it gets pushed out, and this slowly just gets pushed out. So the people in the research facility, they have these door. Where is that at? Thank you. Got paste. You got these little wind turbines here. I'm supposed to go up here. Here. I'm gonna write that down as wind. Hey man, how you doing? That is true. I am working on art assets for this adventure that I have been a part of production. So this is a little window. We can zoom in here. It's a really cheap little symbol. It looks like an apple, but it's actually a wind turbine. And it's got a 20-foot here. I'm going to turn on the image, view, show, grid. Okay, here's our grid. So these wind turbines, they're an uncommon magic item that you can that has a foot pedal. That while somebody is pedaling it, it creates this 20-foot zone of it basically cleanses the air within 20 feet. So you got 5, 10, 15, 20. It's positioned. This door is closed, but if it was open, 5, 10, 15, 20. So positioning a wind turbine here in a it'll be a separate asset from the map. So you get the map, you put the map on the table, or you're using VTT, and then you get the wind vane assets. So you can position them where we recommend that you position them. The background will be white and transparent. So the bottom of the facility floor is transparent. So while your DM is conducting the day, let's say they I don't want this to be any more confusing than it needs to be, so let's get rid of the extra one. Cool. Okay, so let's say if your DM has a wind turbine here set up when you begin the adventure, the team can just pick it up and walk off with it and carry it around with them if they wanted to. So if they do that or they break it or something and they get rid of it, this fog that was being held at bay, the DM is here. We'll do this. We'll do copy, paste. Actually, I probably want to go in here, duplicate this layer. Here, that, here, march down. That's not the way to do that. Here to here, you switch G. So there, that's how we do it. And then we merge down. There we go. That's how we do the coloring. Okay, cool. So we go here, and this is why you have to have asset production. See, I can paste that over there. You can't see it. So what you can do is, as a DM, as a virtual tabletop, anytime they remove something, the fog is going to start coming in. So I can provide like little template assets the size of the corridor. So anytime your team grabs or moves a wind vane, the DM can just drop in one of these little asset pieces that's the width of the corridor, and then just copy paste as the smoke over the course of like 1 minute, 10 minutes, etc. It can slowly fill in the space. If you don't have a turbine blocking it off, then the smoke's just going to come in and eventually fill up the space. And just having this like a real easy little template for the DM to drop in underneath the transparent map. You've got this black border. The floor is transparent and defaults to white. So if you can then just take these little plates and drop them in. It's like, okay, this is a foggy area, but you can still have your troops running across the top of it. Over here, this is flooded with water. The Act 3. This is a blast door that's been permanently sealed. Here's the upstairs. Here's the stairway going up. Here's the stairway going up that lead to here. This area here, room number 2. This is the closed blast door here, and these are murder holes that line up right here to defend this position. There's a fortress here at the top of this elevator and spiral stairway. There's also a fortress 600 feet that way. Up this corridor that's been flooded with water over time, and so there's undead that are floating around in here, and you can see that the passage has cracked into the foundation. And there's now a means for characters coming into this place from the fortress over there. If they want to swim down and fight the drowned assassins and the ghouls that are inside here. If you want to get through that, you can crawl your way through here and get air here at the surface when you pop through. And then there's there's undead that are floating in here, and there's like an Otiok, and there's a roper over here. There's a giant black pudding here. But if your team takes this quick path, you can shortcut yourself to the ritual chamber real easily. So if you're just doing a 1-session gun and run, you can have your team start over here, or start here, or teleport them in and just literally drop them into this bog, so that all they have to do is just march forward, and you as a DM, you can just leave like all of this. Sorry, here. A DM can just leave all of this concealed. It's like, this is all you get. So when your team drops in here, they've only got this one way to go, and then bam, you get to the ritual chamber. Like, if you only got 2-hour session, you can just do that. Just cut off everything else on the map, and you just have this 1, 2, 3 rooms. Fight some undead, Odiug, a roper over here. There's poisonous moss hanging everywhere. There's a black pudding here. There's room for a shambling mound here. There's a couple assassin vines here. So you can have 5 encounters. Just absolutely dogpiling on your characters over the course of 2 or 3 hours if you just wanted to do a quick little slosh to get to the final chamber. If you don't want to do that, and this is part of a longer ongoing campaign, once the team discovers this entry point, they could actually back off, take a long rest, and then come back, and after they've killed off all the undead, there'll be less forces for them not to worry about the next time through. Then they can come through and start hitting this place. And this place is really dangerous. It's not really populated. Like, people that are in charge dump stuff over here. They know they got the black pudding. They know they got an Odiug. They know they got the vines. So stuff. It's a good trash dump. So, but the fog sits on top of the water, so it limits visibility. You can do that with with a light source on the virtual tabletop. But for players in a live action, like at a kitchen tabletop, I'll have each of these rooms broken out. Like this will be one map sheet that you can put on the table. Hey, you arrive in a teleportation chamber. There's a closed door to the right. There's a closed door to the south. There's an open door to the left, and there's an open door to the north. West and north. Where do you want to go? And some of the hooks give them detection crystals, like locate object crystals, that will tell them the direction that the artifact for the ritual is being used, and it says it's north. So your team may decide to go, this north, or they may decide to go this way instead to investigate. That's their decision that they can do that. The last playtest that we did, we actually eliminated. All of this. Yeah, last playtest we took all of this off the map. So this is all they had to deal with. It was like just about like that. So this is the full environment that they had to use on the playtest. It was a 5-hour playtest, and they went from the tunnel passage here, here and here, ran across opposition here, continued forward, ran across more opposition here, and then got into the main ritual chamber where they had allies and the full ritual to deal with. So they had 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 5 encounters over the course of 5 hours, in which case they were able to grab the artifact in question. Their mission was to grab the artifact and get back to the teleportation circle so they can get gated out. So they did, they grabbed it, so they went through the 1 encounter, 2 encounter, 3 encounter, 4 encounter, and then the final encounter was getting back out while a giant monster was chasing them down the corridor to try to get the relic back before it was able to teleport away, and they were successful. But that's just 2 scenarios, and then for just an open-ended campaign, you can just have the whole facility available. The guards that are human that are set up here. Make sure that's all good. Yeah. There we go. Okay, cool. They have these wind vanes set up in key positions. 5, 10, 15. They can go out 20 feet. This is actually mistaken. 5, 10, 15. 5, 10, 15. It's got a 20-foot reach. So it goes to there. And the water has, so you can see it's 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, it gets to the door. 5, 10, 15, it gets to this door. 5, 10, 15, 20, it gets to here. So it causes this bubble, 5, 10, 15, 20. So while this wind vane is positioned here, it cuts off this fog that's rolling through the fissures in the wall here. And it's coming this way. This door is closed, so the gas can't come through this way. And with this positioned here, it keeps this open. This door remains clear. It remains clean air. And then they have poisonous gas here, but it's closed off here. And collapse these things. This is the default how it's set up. They only need 2 wind vanes. One here to block it coming through this tunnel. Keep this door closed. Keep this door closed. Keep this door closed so that this room can be opened up. They can use it as a gymnasium. This room is used for storage. They do alchemy and like brewing potions and converting all this different alien plant life into different types of poisons, salves, like you can rub some of it on your eye, and you have dark vision for an hour, stuff like that. Fun little things you can stick in at the end of the book. Because if it's an open-ended campaign, your team may decide to take it over and start up operations of their own and create their own content and deal with the weapons dealers and the necromancy cults that were interested in getting this place up and running yourself. If that's how you want to run your campaign. But if it's just like a one-shot tournament sort of thing, then just limiting it to the rough area here. And the fog is... we had been playing the fog to limit vision to 20 feet, but it's feeling a little bit too restrictive. So in these tight tunnels, vision is limited to 30 feet. So you can just put a light source on the characters and use that light source as the reach of the distance of their vision before it becomes obscured by the fog. And of course, down in the clean areas, there is no obscurement. If you're way down here, you can see all the way to the end, and then 20 feet, 30 feet into the fog. So you can see in the fog that, oh yeah, there's another door here, and if you go to that door, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, you can see that it's opening up into another passage here. It's like, oh, there's another room here to go into. So each room is far enough away from each other in the fog that you can always see there's another room to go to. Since they closed off the doors here, they have the wind vane positioned here. This is all in the adventure. This door can be opened, but the wind vane keeps the fog from coming in. And you can walk through the fog to this door and open this one after you close this one, acts as an airlock. So the lab guys that are down here brewing all those potions, they can periodically come up here to the end of the tunnel, go through the airlock, and then find more, like scrape crystals off the wall, find patches of fungus, collect mushrooms and spores to gather all that stuff up into a bucket, and then take it back into airlock 8, back down here into 6, where there's going to be a bunch of rooms, and like a bunch of work tables and burners and stuff set up with like little log books and recipes, so the characters could come in and steal the recipe book if they want to, and then gun it out of there, and then come back later and try to pick this place apart while the forces that are defending it are atrophying. So the doors are closed off to keep the fog from coming in, so that the air is always clear. This is an underground dormitory. There's a kitchen thing here. There's a commons room here. There's bunk beds here. There's a shower area here. There's stairs here that lead up to the battlement tower with the murder holes open up. You can go down the stairs or just cut through here. This elevator this thing's hundreds of years old, so it's way out of use. But this elevator used to just have a trigger you could pull, and you can just put hut 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 hut. It's got 20. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4. You could put about 16 troops on this platform, and then send it up to the surface, and then there's a fortress up there, so you can reinforce people anytime. Or you could all the troops can pack down the stairs, and then you can seal off the passage behind. People can go down the elevator shaft, and then you can send it back up, and you can stall it halfway up and stop it, so it becomes a stopper that people they'd have to climb down to deal with. And then they have this giant iron dais that is basically blocking progress down, and they can just freeze it there and lock and break the mechanism to lock it there, so that they can then live out a siege down here. If they tear down this door, eventually they have to come down this. There's a fortress over here, over this direction, so you have to break through the fortress on the top side, or you have to break the fortress over on this side. Both of those are really strong points. And as we looked at in, I think it was like session 24, maybe 16, the secret passage to the cemetery, which is that way. Mirrors are difficult. That way today. So what I wanted to focus on right now is these bunker doors. We're working on we're working on bunker doors. So I just wanted to come through here and just start putting some thoughts on about how these doors look. So base model here is that they are 10 feet wide, 10 feet tall. There's a 5 foot there's 5 foot of ceiling gap, and then you got your ceiling that goes like that, right? And this is like this. This is like this. This is your basic open door. It looks like looks like a mean mouth. I'm gonna clean that up a bit. Like you only need to have it like if you just stop it open here at 5 feet, like people can just duck. If you're taller than 5 feet, people can just duck under it and get in more easily, or you can open it all the way to 10 feet depending on how you have it set. So that's rough, but it doesn't have to be any better right now. We're just doing ideation stuff. And then it's got the grooves on the floor. Create a seal. I don't know how long I'm going to be on. My gal's going to come and grab me for some lunchtime here pretty soon. So I'm just putting in some work, having some ideas here until that happens. That perspective is off, but that doesn't matter. Here. So what I do need to do is I need to 20. Oh yeah, those things are 20-foot wall. Oh, okay, I can do this. It's a 20. Where's my thing? Oh yeah, I'm so used to flipping screens now. But that's not what I'm doing. Okay, great. So here. It's actually 20 feet wide. I forgot about that. I only wrote the thing. It's not like I have to remember anything in it. So if this is 20 feet, yeah. I think the way I want to do this. Let's go with view grid. Okay, cool. So having said all that, let's 20 feet there. $15 feet high. So this is the rough scale, but I only want the door to be 10 feet high. Excuse me, I gotta go take measure. All right, let's look at what 2 feet is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1 foot. So this is 2 feet. That is absolutely the right size. Absolutely the right size. So here. And this is a window. All the doors, all these bunker doors, all the interior bunker doors have a window. Two foot high, centered at 5 feet. So oh my god, I'm just the worst. Whatever, dude. Duplicate that. Doesn't have to be perfect right now, just have to get the ideas out. here for now. There. Oh my god, it's already starting to warm up here. What is going on with this Seattle weather, yo? How are we sitting? Phew, I gotta get a fan going. Cool, and BRB. Let me know if that fan is bothersome. Hold on, I'll check for myself. Hold on. Weird. All right. Should be fine. All right. Happy with this so far. Simple door, right? I mean, it's a rough proof. And then no. Why you be like that? Apparently, I'm being too sloppy when I'm... There we go. When I'm letting go. Cute. There. Ugh, God, what a pain. All right, well, that's the job. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm doing this wrong. Thank you for the reminder, Muse. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably need another set. So this door, right, has got this handle here. If you turn this crank, it turns the wheel and makes the thing go up, or you turn the thing clockwise and it makes the door go down. So it's got this turn mechanism that each of these doors has, but it also has this central button that you can just punch. And if you do, it just slams the door open. It immediately just slams the door open, unless you switch one of the mechanisms so that when you punch the button, it slams the door shut. So each one of these wheels on this door can be you can switch orientation, and you can lock or unlock, and it's corresponding on the other side of the door. So you got this side and you got on that side. So when you go to a chamber here, you look at the door, there's a mechanism here and there's a mechanism on both sides, and if it gets locked on one way, then it stays closed for the person on the other side. So if you're like retreating from troops breaking into the entrance, you can come through here, close the blast door, and then lock it. Now they have to dig their way through or pry it open. If there was something inside the facility that your characters accidentally unleash and it starts destroying the world, when they get back to this teleportation chamber, they can hit the button, they can click down and then hit the button, and bam, that door gets closed. Or they could hand crank it to close it. You can always hand crank something open and close unless it's locked. Punching the button will either pop it open or pop it closed, depending on if it's set to open or to close. So those are that'll end up probably being its own page of like how do you interact with these things. But then you can also go in and you can, since they're lining up on each side of, like, you got the door, and the actual door is in between, and you got the gearbox here and you got the gearbox here. You can actually get into the gearbox and screw around with the mechanism so that you can use your thieves tools or tinkering tools or legerdemain with a mage hand. You can go in, you can manipulate it to crack the lock so you can make it open even if it's locked, or you can sabotage it and break the wheel and then prevent it from turning, because the both wheels work together. So if you can break one, you can break the other and seal that door. Then you would have to go in with tinkerer's tools, legerdemain, or thieves picks and try to repair the sabotage lock, and that can take time. So that's the idea. That's the idea behind it. So having that be its own page is probably a good idea. But that's the thought process. So I was trying to visualize how this door stuff works. That's what we're doing today. There. So we come back in here. So it's a gear button. So it's a literal gear wheel. You can see the gears turning on. Intentional design. Yeah, like that. There's probably a way to have these things automated, but I don't know how. I'm not good at image automation, like, in the least. Curved surface is probably not a good idea. I like the curved surface idea. There we go. There we go. $45, that's 22.5. 7.25. And there we go. Completely doesn't work. Congratulations, Phil. You've built gear teeth that are completely ineffective. What were you thinking, son? What were you thinking? All right. It almost works. I don't think that first effort was a complete failure, because we had the opportunity to get a sense of how much space do we need in each spoke to actually have them come together and click. So this should actually turn out be okay. This reminds me of the CAD classes that I took in high school. That learning how to represent objects in 2 dimensions and then be able to extrapolate those shapes. You know, do things like that. Yeah, just being able to visualize things. CAD was great. The drafting class, that's what it was. Love that class. Super fun. This was in the early 90s. They had one of the first automated computerized CAD surfaces that I had seen. It was this huge workbench with two mice, and it was on and it had one of them had an arm, and you could lay down large like 3 foot by 10 foot engineering plans, and you could put it on there and you could trace over it and get it into the computer, like scanning it by just like going over the line work. That was horrible. It was not a good tool. But the hand-drawn stuff that we had to do, that was all super valuable. Duplicate the layer. Okay, now we go back to what we were doing. So counterclockwise, come down here. That sits legit. There we go. Down. Duplicate the layer. Transform. 80. Down, duplicate layer. transform, rotate, 5, enter, down, duplicate, transform, rotate, 22.5. Hey, there we go. A little off, so I gotta do it again. Merge down. Learn a little bit more every time, though. We're close. Cool. All right, I'm good with that. All right, let's do it all again. Layer, transform, 80. Down. Duplicate the layer, transform, rotate, 45, enter, enter, down, duplicate, free transform, rotate, 22.5. Equals. Bam. Okay, great. Hey, that actually lines up. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. We have made a gear. We made a gear, folks. Nice job. Nice, nice job, buddy. Good gear. It's gear. Hooray, gear. Right, so you gotta be in the right layer. Push. Cool. I know that's not a good arrow, but whatever. Fine, we'll make it a good arrow. Jesus. I'm visualizing what I want this door mechanism to work like. So, you got feels right. Okay. Let's see. Get the gearbox. See, I feel like okay, so I need a lock and I need a shift. The shift changes the direction. So you got the button that you can press, and the button can either open or close the door depending on which way the gears are shifted. You can manually open by turning it, assuming it's not locked. You can lock it by pressing the button. Pressing the button opens or closes the door depending on how it's aligned, and then you turn the crank to either open or close it, or switch or shift the button and then punch it close. Either way, turning the wheel is an action, and doing so closes the door 5 feet. So if the door pops open 10 feet, it will take 2 rounds of cranking to close. I need to AFK for a few minutes, so I may have to kill my stream.